You've seen the claims. This penny is worth $1 million. This quarter can make you rich overnight. But is it true? The truth is, most of it is completely fake. Exaggerated prices, misleading hype. That's what we're here to expose. Welcome to Rare Coin Collecting. We reveal the real value, real history, and true rarity of coins that actually matter. From wheat pennies to rare state quarters. We cover it all with facts, not fiction. What if the quarter sitting in your drawer right now wasn't worth 25 cents? What if it was hiding a rare error that collectors are fighting to own? There's a 2007 coin from Idaho that's creating serious buzz. But here's the problem. Most people are looking at the wrong thing. Let's crack open the mystery behind the Idaho state quarter. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot the difference between a common coin and one that could be worth hundreds. At first glance, this quarter doesn't look unusual. It's got a bird, a falcon. To be exact, flying across a blank sky, and that strange Latin phrase above its head, Esto Perpetua. Sounds fancy, but what does it really mean? And why is it even on a coin? But before we decode that, let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a quarter sell for $500? Because this one has. This is the 43rd coin in the U.S. State Quarters program. Released in 2007, Idaho went bold with their design. No mountains, no landmarks, just a peregrine falcon mid-flight, eyes locked on prey, wings slicing the air. The same falcon that once vanished from much of the U.S. and then made a dramatic comeback. That alone makes the coin historic. But history isn't the only reason people want it. Some versions of this coin are turning heads at auctions. Let's talk value. The typical Idaho quarter in your pocket is worth exactly 25 cents. But if it's in pristine condition, and I mean untouched, uncirculated, flawless, you might be holding a sleeper coin. Adotizen Seton, Idaho quarter-graded MS68, sold for $200. One with a satin finish in MS69, that hit $500. Now hold on, what's a satin finish? You'd never find it in your change. These were coins made specially for collectors, sealed in U.S. mint sets with a smooth, matte look. And some of those are nearly perfect. But here's where things get really interesting. Error coins. Now stay with me, because this part is where most people miss out. Imagine finding a quarter that's slightly off-center. The image is shifted, maybe even missing part of the design. That's called an off-center strike. And depending on how severe it is, that could be a $300 coin in your hand. Or maybe there's a die crack, a raised line slicing through the falcon's wing, caused by a worn-out mint die. Those can go for $150 to $400 depending on the grade. Then there's the clipped planche, where a chunk of the coin is missing entirely. It looks like someone bit a perfect circle out of the edge. One of these, with the right shape and clear details, has sold for well over $600. Now I know what you're thinking. What about those videos claiming Idaho quarters are selling for $50,000 or even $1 million? Let me be real with you. Those are fake, clickbait, total fiction. There is no record of any Idaho quarter ever selling for six figures. And yet, collectors are still chasing these coins. Because the value isn't just hype, it's in the condition, the rarity, and the story behind each variation. Let's break it down so you know what to look for. First, the mint mark. You'll see a small letter under "In God We Trust." P means Philadelphia, D means Denver. Either one could be valuable if the coin is mint state or has an error. Next, the surface. Is it shiny or does it have a soft, smooth matte? Matte means satin finish, and that's exactly what collectors want. Then check the details. Any doubling in the words? Any shifts in the strike? Look at the feathers, the claws, the eye. Use a magnifying glass. The tiniest detail can make the biggest difference. If you find something strange, don't clean it ever. That could destroy its value. Put it in a soft plastic holder and get it looked at by PCGS or NGC. And here's something nobody talks about. The peregrine falcon had featured on this coin was nearly wiped out in the 20th century, but Idaho played a major role in bringing it back. This coin isn't just about money. It's about a species that beat extinction. So ask yourself, how many people even look at the coins in their pocket? How many quarters slip through fingers every day? Never checked, never questioned? And how many of those might be worth far more than anyone realizes? This Idaho quarter might just be the next one that surprises you. And we're not done yet. We've already revealed 25 state quarters on this channel, each one with hidden errors, shocking price tags, and myths that needed busting. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and join us as we uncover the truth about the coins everyone else is ignoring. And before you go, tell me in the comments, have you ever spotted a strange Idaho quarter? Maybe one with a flaw or a weird surface? Let's talk about it, because the moment you think it's just a regular coin might be the moment you miss something worth far more. They say not all that glitters is gold, but what about a 25-cent coin that shows two mighty American bison charging through the plains of North Dakota? Could this humble state quarter be hiding a secret worth thousands? Or is it just another viral myth? Today, we're diving deep into the 2006 North Dakota State Quarter, its story, its real value, and the truth behind those outrageous million-dollar claims. Released in 2006, as part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program, the North Dakota Quarter was the 39th coin in the series. It honors the Peace Garden State, featuring a stunning design, two American bison roaming freely across the rugged Badlands, a powerful tribute to the state's wildlife and vast landscapes. But here's the twist most people don't know. While most of these quarters are only worth their face value, just 25 cents, a few rare errors and unique conditions can turn this coin into a treasure. There are three types of North Dakota quarters you'll want to watch for. First, the satin finish variety. These coins were never meant for circulation. They came in special mint sets from the U.S. Mint, and their surface has a sleek matte look. If you've got one in flawless condition, especially graded, MS69 or MS70, it could be worth $100 to $300 or even more to the right collector. Second, the double die error. This is where things get exciting. Some North Dakota quarters show doubling in the lettering, especially in E pluribus unum or the date. These errors are extremely rare, but when they show up in high grades, they've sold for $500 to $1,500 at auction. So next time you get change, don't just toss it in your jar, take a close look. Third, the off-center strike. An off-center strike happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during minting. If the design is visibly off-center, but still shows the date and mint mark, these can fetch anywhere from $200 to $800, depending on how dramatic the error is. But here's the catch. Condition is everything. Collectors pay top dollar only for coins in mint state condition, which means no scratches, wear, or damage from circulation. If your quarter looks like it's been in a washing machine or tossed in a parking lot for 5 years, sorry, it's not worth more than 25 cents. You've probably seen those viral videos claiming North Dakota quarters are selling for $50,000 or even $1 million. Let's set the record straight. Those videos are clickbait. No North Dakota quarter, not even in perfect condition, has ever sold for $1 million. But there is still real money in this coin if you know what to look for. Let's look at real examples. A 2060 North Dakota quarter graded MS68 sold for around $130. An MS69 satin finish version sold for over $350. And a rare double die error, professionally graded, fetched nearly $1,000. Want to find one yourself? Here's what to do. Check your pocket change and coin jars, especially coins from 2006. Look closely for errors, doubling, off-center strikes, or die cracks. If you think you've found something rare, don't clean the coin. Submit it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. The 2006 North Dakota quarter isn't just a piece of pocket change. It's a symbol of American frontier strength. And for a few lucky collectors, it's also a hidden gem. But remember, the true value of a coin isn't just in metal or money. It's in the history it carries and the eyes that recognize its worth. If you've been following our state quarters journey, you know we've already revealed 25 fascinating coins so far, each one with its own secrets, history, and potential value. Want to know what's coming next? Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below. Do you have a North Dakota quarter? Let's talk about it, because sometimes a fortune hides in plain sight. What if I told you that a coin you've probably seen 100 times could actually be worth hundreds, maybe even more? There's a 2006 Colorado State quarter out there that's got collectors buzzing. But is it really rare? Or is it just another coin stuck in viral hype? Let's find out the truth behind the 2006 Colorado State quarter. Now, at first glance, this coin might not look like much, but take a closer look. You'll see one of the most stunning designs in the entire State Quarters program. It shows the Rocky Mountains in all their glory, with trees and ridges stretching out into the distance. Below that, the words "Colorful Colorado." And let's be honest, they nailed it. This quarter captures the rugged beauty of Colorado in just a few square centimeters of metal. But here's the question everyone's asking. Is this coin actually worth money? The short answer? Most of them? No. They're just 25 cents. But not all Colorado quarters are created equal. In fact, some very specific versions have sold for hundreds of dollars. And a few rare errors? They've sold for even more. Let's talk about those. First up, coins from mint sets with the satin finish. These coins weren't made for circulation. They were produced in limited numbers and sold to collectors. The surface is matte, not shiny like your regular quarters. If you find one of these in near-perfect condition, graded MS69 or higher, it could be worth anywhere from $100 to $300 or more, depending on demand. Then there are the error coins, and this is where things get wild. Some 2006 Colorado quarters have been found with double dies. That means parts of the design or lettering appear, twice because of a mistake during minting. You'd need a magnifier to spot it, but serious collectors love these. A well-preserved double die Colorado quarter has sold for $500 to $1,000 at auction. Another to watch for is the clipped planche, where part of the coin is literally missing due to a flaw in production. If you've got one with a clean, curved clip and the coin still shows its date and mint mark, you could be looking at a few $100s. But the most famous and the most misunderstood is the extra leaf error. Now here's the twist. That error only happened on the Wisconsin state quarter, not Colorado. Yet people keep confusing the two and claiming that the Colorado quarter has an extra leaf worth thousands. It doesn't. Don't fall for the fake hype. So what's the real secret to finding a valuable Colorado quarter? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and demand. A 2006 Colorado quarter that's been in someone's pocket for 15 years isn't going to make you rich, but one that's been sitting untouched in a sealed mint set, in pristine shape, that's a different story. Let's look at some real numbers. A 2006 Colorado quarter graded MS68 by PCGS sold for $135. So one with a satin finish in MS69 sold for over $350. A dramatic error coin from this series, like an off-center strike or broad strike, has reached prices of $600 or more, depending on the buyer. So before you toss that change in your car's cup holder, take a second look. Flip over that quarter. Check the year. Look for 2006 and then look closer. Any doubling? Any unusual shapes or cuts? Is the surface smooth and perfect? Could you be holding a little piece of treasure? And here's the coolest part. You don't need to be rich to get into this hobby. It starts with one coin, one discovery, one mystery to solve. And sometimes, like with the Colorado State Quarter, it leads to something much more valuable than money, curiosity, history, and that unbeatable thrill of finding something rare. So what about you? Ever found a 2006 Colorado quarter with something strange on it? Think you've got a mint error? Or maybe you've just got a beautiful one sitting in a drawer? Drop a comment and tell us about it. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into America's state quarters, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because we've already covered 25 coins so far, and there's a whole lot more coming. The journey through your pocket change is just beginning. Sometimes the most ordinary coins hold the most extraordinary secrets. At first glance, it just looks like a bull's skull. But what if I told you this Montana quarter might be one of the most misunderstood coins in the entire state quarter series? And what if one small error, one you can barely see with the naked eye, could turn this common 25-cent coin into one worth hundreds, maybe more? Today we're cracking open the mystery behind the 2007 Montana State Quarter, a coin that's got collectors asking, is this the real deal or just another internet myth? Let's find out. Now look closely. That's a massive bison skull floating over the outline of Montana. Creepy? Maybe. Symbolic? Definitely. It represents the wild, open spirit of the West and the proud, untamed legacy of Montana's plains. This was the 41st quarter released in the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, and while it may not seem flashy like California's design or dramatic like Arizona's, this coin has secrets most collectors completely overlook. So let me ask you, have you ever seen a quarter with a missing piece, or one where the design looks off? Because the Montana quarter has more than a few strange versions out there. And if you find one, especially one in perfect condition, you might be holding a small fortune. Let's talk real value. Most Montana quarters in circulation, just pocket change. But collectors don't want average. They want flawless. That means no scratches, no dings, sharp edges, perfect luster. And those, they're getting harder to find. One Montana quarter graded MS68, that's near the top of the grading scale, sold for $260. A satin finish version from a collector's set graded MS69. That one hit over $400. And that's not even counting the error coins. Now here's where it gets exciting. Some Montana quarters were struck off center, where the image is slightly shifted, missing part of the design. Depending on how dramatic the strike is, those can go for $300, $500 even more. Others have die cracks, which are raised lines running through the skull or the lettering. These cracks happen when the die used to strike the coin begins to wear out or split. Some are minor, but some are wild, and collectors go crazy for them. But the big one, the one that makes people's jaws drop, it's the clipped planche. Imagine holding a quarter with a perfectly rounded bite taken out of it. That's not damage, that's a legit mint error. And depending on the condition and the size of the clip, we've seen Montana quarters with that flaw sell for $700 or more. But here's the twist most people don't expect. There are rumors out there that the Montana quarter with a bison skull has been selling for thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Videos floating around claiming rare Montana quarters sold for $25,000. But is it true? Let's clear it up. As of now, there's no verified record of any 2007 Montana state quarter selling for 5 figures. Those stories? Fake, misleading, designed to get clicks. But that doesn't mean this coin isn't valuable, because it absolutely can be, if you know what to look for. And that's where you come in. If you've got Montana quarters lying around, in your change jar, junk drawer, or old coin rolls, here's what to do. First, check the year 2007. Then look below "In God We Trust" for the mint mark. P for Philadelphia, D for Denver. Both can be valuable. Next, study the bison skull. Look closely for doubling in the horns or eyes, or cracks running through the design. Check the edge of the coin for signs of clipping or misalignment. If it looks unusual, and it's in good shape, don't clean it. Seriously, cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Just put it in a soft holder and get it checked by PCGS or NGC. And if it looks perfect, smooth, sharp, know where it might be. A high-grade mint state coin, worth grading even without any errors. Now here's a little bonus history. Montana chose the bison skull to symbolize strength, endurance, and the state's Native American and ranching heritage. But it also makes this quarter stand out. And unique designs like this tend to draw long-term interest from collectors. So while it may not be the flashiest coin in the series, the Montana State Quarter is one of those sleeper coins, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for the right person to recognize its value. And if that person is you just might turn a single coin into something unforgettable. We've already covered 25 other state quarters here on the channel, each with rare versions, errors, and price tags that might surprise you. So if you're into real coin collecting, not clickbait hype, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below. Have you found a Montana quarter with a weird edge, a crack in the design? Or maybe it's just so clean and perfect you think it might be worth grading. Let's talk about it, because sometimes the coin you least expect becomes the one you'll never forget. At first glance, it's just a buffalo standing in a field. But some of these Kansas state quarters are hiding something bizarre, something that shouldn't be there. And in some cases, something that's completely missing. There's a quiet mystery around this 2005 coin, one that's been overlooked by millions of people who've held it in their hands and never noticed what was wrong. But now collectors are finally paying attention. Let's dig into the truth behind the Kansas state quarter. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why some versions of this coin are selling for hundreds, while others are being hyped for tens of thousands, with zero proof. So here's the setup. This is the 34th coin in the 50 state quarters program. Released in 2005, it features a big, proud American bison standing in a Kansas prairie, with the state flower, the sunflower, in the background. Simple, strong, classic. But here's where things get weird. Some Kansas quarters have a mint error so strange, so obvious, you'll wonder how it ever made it past inspection. Imagine flipping over your coin, and instead of reading "In God We Trust," it says, "In God We Rust." Yeah, that actually happened. This bizarre error comes from a filled die, where grease or debris blocked part of the coin, die during the minting process. In this case, the T in trust vanished completely, making it read "In God We Rust." It sounds fake. It's not. This "In God We Rust" error has become one of the most famous and collectible mistakes in the entire state quarter series. And depending on the condition, this quarter has sold for $50 to $300 on sites like eBay and through certified auctions. One uncirculated example, graded by PCGS, sold for nearly $500. But that's just the beginning. There are other Kansas quarters out there with more subtle, but even rarer, errors. Doubled dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, and clipped planches. One Kansas quarter with a dramatic off-center strike, where a chunk of the design was literally missing. sold for $750. Another with a deep die crack across the bison's shoulder went for over $400 just because of the intensity of the flaw. But here's where we separate the real value from the viral hype. If you've seen videos or articles claiming that a Kansas quarter sold for $35,000 or $80,000, those are fake, period. No verified auction house has ever listed a Kansas state quarter at anything close to that number. And no collector is paying six figures for a rust error. That's just made to get your attention. But that doesn't mean this coin isn't worth hunting. Because if you find the In God We Rust error in mint state, untouched, sharp and slabbed, it can still bring in serious cash, especially if you have it certified by PCGS or NGC. So here's what to do. Dig out your Kansas quarters. They're dated 2005. Look closely at the front, especially at the word trust. If that T is faint, blurred, or completely gone, you might have the grease-filled die error. Then check the bison. Look for any strange lines, bumps, or doubling. Use a magnifier if you have one. Some of the best errors are subtle. Also flip it over and check the edges. A misaligned die or clipped planche could be hiding in plain sight. And if you think you found something rare, don't clean the coin, ever. That destroys value instantly. Put it in a soft holder or flip and send it for grading. The Kansas quarter isn't just a coin with a buffalo on it. It's a reminder that even modern coins can have real collector value, if you know what to look for. Some people ignore this coin entirely. Others cash in. The difference? One person looked closer. You can be that person. And remember, we've already broken down 25 plus state quarters here on the channel. And each one has a secret waiting to be uncovered. So subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and let us know in the comments. Have you ever found the In God We Rust coin in your change? Or do you have a Kansas quarter with a strange mark? Weird strike or damage that doesn't look accidental? Let's talk about it. Because in the world of coin collecting, the ones that look normal are often the ones hiding the biggest surprises.